Good morning, everyone. This is Diane Murray at Southern Art Gallery, and I'm back working on this rose for an advanced class I'm teaching. And since the last video, I have gone back in here and added a few more layers of the same colors we've been working with, which are lemon yellow, new gamboge, quinacridone magenta, and pyro red, or the red I'm using is bright red by Senoye. I've gone in and added, I've made my greens by glazing the ultramarine over the lemon yellow, and I've gone in with some cerulean blue in here just to put in the shadows, and I'll try to link this photograph to you. Push the stems back so that this appears to come forward from this. I need to darken this background on this stem. So since we're glazing, I'm just going to go back in with another layer of ultramarine blue right over the stem, probably the entire stem. Just pushing it back so it's less visible or less prominent. And I'm going to go ahead and darken all of this for that same reason. And we're just using the same colors we've been using. And if I can't get it dark enough with the ultramarine, then I'll add a little touch of Payne's Gray in there if I need to. I want everything to move back, including this one. So we'll go in here with this. Just pushing it to the background. And this is quite dark here. And over here as well. Any place that's underneath is going to be in shadow. There's actually a vein right here that comes down like that. So I'm going to go ahead and wash this whole thing darker right here. And then I'm going to come in here and do the same thing. Leaving that vein right there. And that's a bit too much water there. So I'm going to add just a touch of Payne's Gray to this, just to dull it down a bit. To my ultramarine. Let's see if we can't get that. Yeah, that's what we want. We just need that darkness. Right in there. Underneath the whole underneath structure of this whole thing needs to be darker. And these are pretty light up here, so I may give them a little touch of darkness just at the base, but not much, just where they're coming in to meet that. Or you liking that better? And then of course I have to push this darker as well. I wanted this to stand out, but I'm realizing that it's coming too far forward, so I'll just really want this and this to come forward and the rest of this to recede back into the background a bit. Let's push this darker too. There's a little bit of light hitting the very tip of these, so I'm going to keep that a little bit lighter. Okay, that, I like that better, much better. I think the only thing I might want to go back and do is to brighten up these a little bit more with a little quinacridone magenta and pyro red combination, because they are the brightest. This is the very brightest part of the flower. So let's just brighten that up a bit more. And that leading edge is where the real brightness is. Down here as well. This is a very nice little brush. It is quite long though, so you have to be careful when you're using this. Don't be afraid to turn your painting to make access more comfortable for you. If you're trying to paint at an odd angle, it's not going to work as well for you. All right, let's see here. I really like that popped out like that. I think, of course, the center of the flower is usually the focal point. This is very, very pretty up in here though, so I may push this even darker or brighter, because on the photograph it is quite bright. And it comes into yellow, which is really beautiful. I love how the petals change color. So now I'm just basically going around and fine-tuning anything I see that I can brighten. Generally your petals are always darker at the base and they lighten as they come out. So if you just touch that with clear water, probably needs to be more contrast between these two, so one of these has to be pushed darker. So I think I'm going to push this one darker or brighter, and that's already wet from what I just did, so I'm just going to drop this in there like that and let those mingle together and merge like that. Much better, much better. And I think I want this leading edge in that. See what happened there? That's what happens when you have water on the ferrule of your brush. If you drop a bead on there, it will mess up your background, but luckily that's not too noticeable, so we're not going to worry about it. I come in here. These leading edges are much brighter. For some reason, they're just are always brighter. And I think I'm going to curve that on around like that. These leading edges are always more colorful and more bright. No, I like that better. All right, and I think I'm going to brighten this up just a little bit. Of course, knowing that your watercolors dry at least 30 or 40% lighter than the color you're putting down, you have to always be aware that you're probably going to have to go back in and make several washes. Unless you're quite brave and end up getting it right the first time, which is not often the case, at least not for me. Right, I'm liking that better. I don't feel like we're getting this glow down here that I would like to have, so I'm just going to add a little bit more color down in here just to punch that up a little bit right in there. And this is quite dark, quite a bit darker under here than I'm actually showing. It's much better to paint from your phone or an iPad if you have one than it is to paint from a flat photograph. Because a flat photograph, well, first of all, photographs flatten everything out, and it makes it much harder for you to see dimensions. Just want to drop that bright yellow in there. Curving on around in here and bringing this into there. So it looks like that actually curves around. Right, I'm checking right now for my values. I'm making sure, if you squint down and you look, you can tell if your values are in the ballpark, if they're light enough or dark enough. And I'm seeing this has to be pushed even darker. So I'm going to go back in with that cerulean blue that I initially used. And I really like this. There's a yellow glow that comes in under here that I particularly like. So I'm going to add that, and I'm going to push it in here as well, just because I like the way that looks. And there's actually a darker section right in here. That's kind of nice. And if it's too much the same, just wet it and blot it, and it will end up looking more like a petal. Alright, there's a dark line under here, so I'm probably going to take that ultramarine and see if I can get that shape that's right there. Add a little more Payne's Gray to it and push that shadow underneath that like that. That's what I want. So where does that end? It ends and it comes down here. This is basically the base of this little structure here. So we'll make this a little bit darker here, just to delineate that a little bit better. It's also very dark right under here. There's a real darkness there where it meets that stem, and it actually comes down here in a shadow on the stem a bit. And there's a darkness under here that's a reflection of the shadow. Well, it's not a reflection, it's the shadow off this petal right there. So let's give that some shadow there. And there is actually a dark line that runs down here. So we'll put that in just for interest.